Welcome to the Jerry Graves channel. This channel talks about narcissism and everything in between. Without further ado, I want to jump straight into the topic. This topic is going to be about how to obtain justice in the work center when you're dealing with a suspected white supremacist and you're a non-white person. What I wanted to do is get into creating a framework for being able to discover what the narcissist or the white supremacist is going to attack you on. So, whenever you are dealing with a suspected white supremacist, they like to do a lot of talking just to get you comfortable and get you into the mood of talking to them. And what ends up happening is there's going to be a lot of non constructive talk, which muddies the water, which makes it where it's unclear sometimes whether somebody's serious, whether somebody's joking, whether they're being constructive or non constructive, whether they're going somewhere with the topic that they're bringing up, you know, or if they're just bringing it up just to keep conversation going. You don't know anymore. So there's basically there's multiple different styles of conversation, but you really want to split it up in your mind into three categories. You have a lead, you have constructive talk, and you have non-constructive talk. Now, that's not this is just a framework for evaluating the conversations that are taking place in the work center. Now, this isn't just how every conversation it works, There's just something that you can try and just decide whether it works for you. So if somebody's talking to you about something constructive, then you listen to them and you make your own comments. If they're talking to you about something non-constructive, where there's no purpose behind the conversation, it's just let me get to know you, or we're joking, or then you try to basically kill the conversation. You don't really feed into it. You don't add any additional information. The most that you will say is that's interesting, or uh, mm-hmm, you know, things like that. But the final thing is the lead, which is whenever a suspected white supremacist is about to attack someone, usually they'll give people clues. They'll ask questions about certain things to try to gain information so that they can tailor their attack to you, or decide what they're going to do. And it normally they can blend that into the conversation when you guys are always just shooting the breeze. They can blend it in. But if you don't participate in that, then it stands out. Usually, it's just something that they're randomly curious about that's in relation to you and in relation to certain parts of the work center, whether it be how to use a piece of equipment, how often you should do it, how much of it you can use, um, whether what time you're supposed to be somewhere. Um, anything that has to do with you in relation to the work center. um, Usually there's a reason why they're asking that. So you're you're listening for constructive conversations, because usually the white supremacists are the most uh, intelligent on the job, because they get the best training and their culture and whatnot. But you're listening for constructive information, and you're listening for leads. So if somebody randomly starts asking you about um, the stapler or something like that, and you're curious to why they would ask you that, or did you put new staples in there, or you know what I mean, like something very small, but it'll go over your head, but that's a lead. Even something that petty, even something that small, um, maybe that now they're going to go through and complain about um, people not. They complain to the boss that you don't refill the stapler, or something like that. That can come about. There's That's a very petty thing that I'm bringing up, but I'm doing that almost purposefully, even though I came up with the example on the spot, because even small things become larger when you're dealing with somebody who has such a power discrepancy with you. So they can get you fired over a stapler. You can't get them to get fired over some of the most serious offenses, It's kind of like people, race soldiers killing innocent black people and getting away with it, but you, a black person, going to prison over the small drug offenses, marijuana, which is legal in most states, but getting the book thrown at them. There's people that are still serving like football numbers over stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why you pay attention to even the small stuff. The small details is very important, and that in and of itself begins to train your mind, because in warfare the details are everything, and that's what you're in. You're in a war. So nonetheless, you're, even if it doesn't lead to something, you're preparing your mind to pay attention to details. And that's one of the things that in any military, that's the first thing that they're teaching you. It's like when you go to boot camp, that's one of the things that you're learning is just to pay more attention to things. And it's so that when you get into your job, you're not making little mistakes that become big mistakes. And next thing you know, somebody's, losing their lives. So most people see like a movie about boot camp and they'll automatically think that the drill sergeant is yelling because they just want to break down the soldiers or the boot camp trainees. But when you see them making up their bed over and over again, and oh, you did this wrong, it's not just, oh well, it's about the fact that you're you're trying to make sure that the trainees are paying more attention. That's the reason why they focus on small tasks. That's the reason why I'm focusing on something really small, like a stapler, you know. But that's the reason why they do it. So you take the opportunity to learn from every moment. You want to withdraw as much information and much um, things like that, because school is everywhere. So you want to be pulling all the information because you don't really have a lot of time to learn. So even stuff like that that's insignificant gives you a chance to practice. That's a long roundabout way that I'm going right now, but to bring it all the way back, there's things that are more significant that they'll ask you about. You pay attention to that. They comment about, and another thing that you need to pay attention to is the laugh whenever somebody comes and makes a comment in relation to you or something, or about something in the work center. You know, somebody laughing and saying, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'm the bathroom lady." I'm the one that cleans the bathroom. you know, Especially if you guys, if you have it where you aren't joking around a lot with this person, you don't want to get to the point where you're constantly fake laughing and constantly making jokes, and then they can slip that in. So you cut out the laughter and the jokes so that they can't use comedy as a way to introduce a serious topic. And if you hear them use comedy or you hear them use laughter, you pay attention more. You pay attention more when somebody says something under their breath, you know. So every time you get a lead, you want to start to brainstorm what problems can occur that has to do with that topic. But this video is getting really long, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Stay tuned for another video, part 2, on the subject. Thanks for watching. Bye.